السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا محمد النبي الأمي وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. Dear brothers and sisters, السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته, and welcome all of you, wherever you are. This is your program Fatwa Life that comes to you Monday. That comes to you from Mishka Center in Houston, Texas. And this is the first part. And the first question today, my wife, she's gonna do an operation in her right leg. And she's gonna stay in bed for like 3 weeks. What does she do with the wudu, especially in those days where she can't move? That she's gonna be hard. Can she do the tayammum? So we answer first by asking Allah Azza wa Jal to make her recover fast and to give her the reward and the patience and to relieve her from this calamity that she's in. In the purification in the wudu, that has to be water. Only when the water is not there or you cannot use it. Because Allah Azza wa Jalla said in the Quran, after seeking Allah's refuge from the Shaitan Rajim, "O who you believe, if you went to the prayers, if stood up for the prayers, then wash your hands, faces and hands to the end of the ayah. And you were on junub, then purification. If you are sick or traveling, or one of you had, or if you touched the woman and you could not find water, then make tayammum and wipe your faces and your hands from it. Allah don't want to make a burden on you, but He wants to purify you and to fulfill His bounty on you, so you might be grateful. So as much as you can of the wudu, even with somebody else helping, if it is available, with no hardship, then that's what should be. And the part that you clean the part that is affected, that's affected in here, then you don't have to wash it, you can wipe it. Allah does not give you more than wicked burden. So how you purify? In the wudu, if he had a casket or something, then he will make wudu and then he wipe on that part. If he doesn't, then he make wudu and made tayammum for that part. And what he might not be able to wash, but he wash the rest. It is okay to make the tayammum before the wudu for that part that he missed, long or little, as the scholar says. And this is the choice of the Qudama and Shaykh al-Islam Ibn Taymiyyah. And the Hanbali, they require the order. They said you make the tayammum if you get to the part that is affected. From the scholars of the Hanbali, he said, whoever had injury and he will be affected by washing that part, then make the tayammum for it. Then he will wash what he can. And what he will not get harmed by wiping it is okay. If it is part of his wudu, then he need to go in the order. So he make the tayammum when he's washing it. Sheikh Ibn Athim said, he make it a lot easier. He said some of the scholars, it's not required the order. So you can make the tayammum before wudu or after, whether long time or short. This is what people do. What is correct? Wallahu a'lam. Al-Muwaffiq al-Majid and Shaykh al-Islam Ibn Taymiyyah shows that. And that's the same thing. Ghusl al-Janaba. If washing that part is going to harm me or going to delay the healing, if it is required to wash it, then he needs to wash the rest without touching the water that wound or that affected area. Then he will make tayammum for that part. And it's not required to do the order. Allah knows the best. Follow-up question. I am a teacher of the Quran and Arabic language for those who don't speak Arabic. I work in academic schools, and I'm thinking of being going self and I made a special page for me. I wanted to do videos with those academies that I work with it. Am I allowed? And do I need to take the permission? I mean, like I want to take some videos of me teaching and then the saying of some of the students. Well, the answer, if they told you that you should not compete with them during a certain period, then fulfill that part until their time. Because Allah said, oh, who you believe, follow the contract, follow the covenant. And because Allah said, fulfill the covenant because you are responsible for it. And because the Prophet ﷺ said, the Muslims on the conditions that they have put on themselves. But for advertisement and other things, what it is their right completely. You should not touch with it except with their permission. And within the laws that organize the rights. The fiqh committee in America, they said the copying of uh, the, the the software and others, those rights are protected. You should not go wherever the law allows for self-protection of the rights. Then no. But they put an exception. Take a personal copy because you cannot get the origins. It is okay because your incapability with the desperate need for it, it's considered a public need that is like a necessity. So if those academy that you think that you're teaching and what you are doing during that, if they think it's a private thing, they should not take it outside except with their permission, a consultation. And the first point, look into the competition whether they have that in a contract or not. The follow question, what is the rule when you change gold with gold, exchange gold with gold, and you do the sell with the part, not the weight, and you give the money with the old piece? Do you have to take the old one and give the price to the customer and take the new part? And it's not an easy because there might not be enough cash to do this operation. Second thing, you exchange the parts with its weight and size, and that has to be cash too. The answer in selling the gold with gold or silver with silver and all currencies, it has to be equal and to hold. So if you sell this thing with this part, then it has to be the quality and the holding. Because the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ, gold with gold, silver with silver, barley with barley, and wheat with wheat, and salt with salt, equal of equal, hand with hand. If there are different types, then sell anything you want. And not knowing the ignorance of the equality, because what Jabir narrated that the Prophet forbids from the selling the date. You don't know what is the weight because it's you have a dates that you don't know what it is. You cannot sell it till you know the specifications, and that's what this hadith indicates. So it's the forbidden of the Prophet ﷺ from selling the food that not knowing the weight, because not that because of their equality is just like adding more. And Shanqiti said in this hadith there is indication on the rule that doubt in the equality, then it is the because that's what the it's forbidden, because you don't want to bet where you are trying to manipulate on riba. That's why the fuqaha said not knowing the equality just like the knowing of the equality. So what's the solutions? The old part is going for the with currency, and you buy the new part, and the holding comes like you could write a check, or it is written on the account for the customer, or the receipts. We have solutions. There is no cash, you could write check or a receipt that he have that much for you, and he could get as if it is cash, or it could change to his account, and then he take that check to a different employee that he buy the new part. With this, you stay away from the dispute. And Al-Bukhari narrated that Abi Sa'id al-Khudri, that Bilal came to the Prophet ﷺ, one of the best dates. The Prophet ﷺ told him, where did you get this? He said, we had bad dates. I sold 2 sa'ats with one, so we could feed the Prophet ﷺ. So the Prophet ﷺ said, that's the riba, don't do that. But if you want to buy, sell the date and then buy the other one. So sell the old date and then buy the new date. But you cannot give the date of a certain because they're not one of them is better than the other. So if you sell with dates, you don't want one to be better than the other. Final question. It has different parts. If the two couples they agree before marriage or after that the marriage, the wife reserve her rights and kids with the complete attention from the husband. And if there is no contradiction of any work for the wife, then she needs to specify all her time for the house and the kids and the husband. And she will follow her husband in everything, since he is taking care of all the rules. What is the rule if they did not, if one of them did violated some of these rules? Let me answer one by one. The Muslims on their conditions. So if he put that condition, that's not going to harm her, and she accepted it with no force or pressure, then she needs to fulfill, because the Muslims fulfill their covenants, because she is responsible for the covenant. that he's going to take care of all the rights that is required of him as a husband, and he will give her to work with the condition that does not contradict her house duties and family duties. If there is contradiction, he put the condition she dedicate herself to the husband, kids, and the house. She need to fulfill. If did not do, then what shall I say? They need to consult and to arbitrate things between them. I don't want to come to the conclusion, the miserable one, before we talk about solutions, because there is solutions, but there's steps that need to be taken before we talk about separations, to bring to advice, to arbitration. The second question: if a wife found an work outside the state with the high rent 4 times and the living expenses 3 times, and she will have a salary is 4 times the rent. About the share about all these expenses. Well, I mean, this is something that they have to discuss between them, and I will send you what came in the Sharia about the financial duties between the husband and wife. From the and I want to show a map that will cover these questions and those that are similar. So let's talk about the map, about the rights and duties in the marriage relationship. There is a common right, which is living in goodness, take care of the family, consult in the decision that concerns the whole family, avoid anything you want to insult, respect the relationship, the kinship of each, visit all relatives from both sides, to live in Sharia, which is the sincerity, the love for each other, protecting their religion and the kids and the money. Take care of the kids and raise them the right way, holding the secrets in the inheritance. These are common rights for the husband and the wife and their duties. The wife has duties on her husband, the dowry that whatever he spent on to her, with the intention to marry her. Could be money or could be a benefit, as the righteous man who told Musa, I will let you marry one of my kids if you sell me for 8, or then if you did 10, that's from you. And also what happened authenticated on the Prophet who accepted what he memorized of the Quran and that. So take on the other thing, he take care of all the expenses of treatment, clothing, and food, and he does it within his capability, without overexpending or being miser. Not to touch her money except with her permission. The husband has rights on his wife, the authority and the advice, to protect her religion and her iftar, to help her into the shara, and to stop her from anything that is forbidden in religion. Obedience and goodness, and everything that allowed by Sharia. And it's not going to harm her or being, and to take care of the household and to protect all its parts and to uh, spend as much as she needs from the husband's money without overexpending or being miser, and not to do anything without his permission or what is known in the tradition. Take care of the kids and breastfeed them. We come to the point that we have talked in our hadith about the work of the woman and the effect on the family. In the decision of American Jurist Muslim Association in their last conference, that the husband and wife are advised to do all the financial uh, planning for the family with the balance and not to tell the man to avoid some of his rights so as the woman can have a job so for entertaining. And just like you cannot use force the woman in the expenditure and, and tell her to take care of the household chores. It is okay that they will agree in goodness of the participation of the working wife with paying some of the bills because of what she had missed in the house duties. It is okay that they agree before marriage or after with the choices that are available to them. What's will not do allow the separation. And the same token about the working of the woman outside the household and the required financially. The Amja, they mentioned that in their conference. Originally, the woman stays at home to take care of her husband and her kids. It is okay for her to work outside if there's a need, but within the boundaries, the following. It will be something that is allowed in Islam and should match her femininity and the consultation that accepted between the husband and wife. The priority of the kids in raising them. And to put that as priority, to hold the Shara rules, the woman had the right with the following uh, things. If she conditioned that in the contract of marriage, or she worked before the marriage, and the husband did not put as a condition that she will leave the job. If the husband allowed, even though it's not conditioned in the contract, or there's a need, like the husband sickness or not being able to spend on the household, the woman is independent of what she gets and no right for the husband and any of that money except if she wants to share with her uh, attention or with her permission, whether she is a Muslim or none of the people of the book. She still have that independence in her financial situation, and she is recommended that she will consult with her husband when she spend more than one third of her money. Will not be restricted except for the Islamic rules that allow that. If she shared with his businesses or company a share in working, then she gets compensated for it. And the husband and wife, they need to consult in goodness in that and to agree from the beginning on what are boundaries that are very clear. This way it will not have a dispute. Then we repeat, it is okay that the husband and wife agree before marriage or after it within what is allowed, what will not allow separation between them. When we talk about the and with the changes of the 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 husband is responsible for the reason why he is superior because of what Allah has given on their bodily issues, and also because the expenditure that he does on his family. That does not give him the right to abuse that right. He get the obedience, not to leave without his permission, not allow anybody in his house that he hates. That the men are advised not to be, not to abuse these rights, especially if the woman shares in the expenditure. And those with the special needs, so the wife need to obey her husband on the things that are the best effort of the scholars without harming her. And in the work, not in the belief. She could believe whatever she wants, whatever is required for her is jihad. But at work, the husband need to be obeyed. And the husband should not uh, uh, be stubborn on minor things because to keep the relationship and keep the family together is a priority. And making sure that she does not uh, disobey the husband. And we stress on the justice and fairness in dealing between the husband and wife, especially with the household, and to make sure you stay away from stubbornness and the rights of the superiority. And the rights require obligations. The woman, they have the same thing of goodness from the husband that he expend money on her. If he refuse or he stop her with no harm, then he cannot stop her from go so she could earn money and get her needs. Nor and the arbitration they can do that, and the woman, the righteous one, is advised to be patient on her husband. If she doesn't or she can't, she could ask the divorce with the harm. And you should not hold the expenditure because that's the public, and to ordain what is good and forbid what's evil. And because of the afflictions and the waste of religion in the West, you should not to exceed the limit. And sometimes the righteous will leave some of the rights, and with that you get the answer to all your questions, and start with goodness between you. Ask Allah Azza wa Jal to bring harmony and love and peace to your hearts. So we pass the time, so inshallah we'll we'll keep all the rest for the second part after 2 hours. If the person slept and he missed Asr and he prayed it when he after he woke up, the Dhuhr and Asr is obligated, and you can do it at any time of the time, and it's a long time. And whomever overslept or forgot it, they need to pray it as when he remembered it. There is no kafar except that. So if you wake up before the time of Asr, do the Asr, the Dhuhr. If you did not wake up after Asr and Asr, pray Dhuhr, then Asr. Make sure you organize your matter so you don't miss it and you don't miss that prayer except on its time. Because whoever overslept over a prayer or he forgot it, then he pray it whenever he remembered it. There's no kafara about that. And if you think that if you did your matter with your family and you slept, that's going to make you oversleep of what you know of your habit. So it is better for you to the ghusl and to the prayer that is obligated on you. At least you'll have an alarm that is going to wake you up. We come to the conclusion. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك نشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك.